I'm Robert Scoble, and we're here at Intuit's headquarters to meet with companies who are here for the Entrepreneur Day that they're hosting right now. And the first company I'm meeting with is called AdRoll, which makes display advertising platforms for small businesses. So who are you?
I'm Adam Berke, part of the founding team at AdRoll.com, and I work very closely with a lot of our advertisers to make sure they make the most of our platform and get great results.
Yeah, and who are you?
Peter Krukovich, part of the founding team at AdRoll as well, and I oversee our inside sales team as well as keeping an eye on our operations and our finance.
Very cool. What are you guys doing, and what are you seeing happen in the marketplace right now?
Yeah, we're seeing an awesome new opportunity to use display advertising as an ROI-positive channel for small businesses. So much in the same way that they used to be able to use search and advertise on Google and put in $1 and get $2 out in sales, we're able to help small businesses do the same thing using display advertising. So a whole new channel, a whole new set of ways to access customers.
And how's business going so far? I'll ask the sales guy.
Yeah, it's been...
Obviously, he hasn't left. The old trick in my business was when the sales guy leaves, you know it's over.
It's, business has been great. Really, we've been basically doubled our revenue every quarter for the last 3 quarters, and we're growing about 35% a month. And adding new accounts, and the nice part about it is once we get people signed up and using it, and they get a feel for how it works. We're big believers in transparency, so pricing, nothing is hidden, and as a result, they can see the result. They can see the results that they're seeing from their campaigns, and we have like a 95% month-over-month retention rate. So really, once people use it, it's an easy product to sell when someone puts in $1 and gets $2-3 out. Yeah, it's not hard to get them to go again the next month.
It's always fun meeting small companies who are trying to compete with the big behemoths. I mean, Google's an advertising company. Okay. If they were doing their job perfectly, you wouldn't be able to exist, right?
I guess, but there's also lots of oil companies and other big companies in other industries as well. Google's a great partner of ours. They're taking an approach to display advertising to make companies like ours possible. We buy a lot of display advertising from Google. Google is not as dominant in display as they are in search yet. So there's definitely an opportunity for companies like ours to innovate and fill holes where Google doesn't specialize. And for us, it's helping the small business who hasn't traditionally been able to use display advertising effectively, help them do that. And we access Google's inventory as well as Yahoo's and OpenX and AdBright, and et cetera, et cetera.
Where would we see your ads? You know, when you say display advertising, tell us what you mean.
Yeah, so the
advertisers know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so we're talking about those standard banner, kind of the traditional nomenclature on well-known sites that you're familiar with. So if you went to one of our advertisers' sites and maybe looked at a pair of pants, you might go to Huffington Post next and get an offer for 10% off pairs of pants from that advertiser, or maybe free shipping. And we allow the advertiser to kind of control the message of based on what products or where the advertiser went on their site, what types of offers to make available when that person goes to the Huffington Post or CNN or any number of one of those well-known sites or even smaller sites.
Yeah, that gives me a sense of what you guys are doing differently, because you're able to watch a user go site to site. How do you do that? What technologies do you use?
Yeah, so we're very focused on the types of behaviors that a person exhibits when they go to one of our customer sites. So knowing whether they looked at one page and left, or if they looked at a series of products, if they put products in their cart, and then through our relationships with people like Google and Yahoo, we're able to say, okay, when you see this person with this cookie, we have a specific ad or offer we want to show that person from this advertiser. And then based on how much intent the person showed by how many products and how they interacted with the site, we can decide how much to bid and things like that. That all kind of make it all very efficient and ROI positive. And we do that, a lot of that stuff with algorithms and in an automated fashion, so the small business doesn't have to figure all that out. That's what our NASA contractor AI CTO figures out. So
Very
make it
cool.
all really easy for the advertiser and user.
Now, you're not doing much mobile, right? You're mostly on a web browser, on a desktop or a laptop.
Yeah, today we're focused primarily on desktop browsers, but there's clearly an opportunity with HTML5 in the future to be involved in that browser environment as well. So,
yeah. What are you seeing happen in the advertising world? Because I'm sure you study it a lot more than me or my readers do.
Yeah.
What kinds of things are you seeing shift, and where do you see heat in terms of advertising?
Yeah, display advertising in particular is shifting from basically being split between big brands doing forward branding oriented buys, awareness, and then the rest being filled with kind of schlocky dancing aliens and cowboys stuff, to the advertising on sites being more useful for the customer and more personalized, and that just works better for everyone. So kind of that example that I mentioned earlier, where the user might get an offer for the pants they were interested in, that adds value for the user. It was more relevant than the dancing alien, and it works well for the advertiser and the publisher. So kind of it's all kind of coming together in the display world a little bit.
Now, what are you doing here at Intuit? Maybe you can tell me about that.
Intuit obviously works with that. They've been one of the few companies that has successfully. The small business market, I think, can traditionally be. It's a challenging place to go after, particularly if you're a young company, for the natural reason that it's hard to simultaneously market to all these tiny little pockets of folks. And Intuit's been one of those companies that has built a brand mostly on trust and quality, but they've successfully been able to do that. And as we look to grow, one of the things we're doing is starting to explore the right kind of channel partners and people that we think would be a natural fit. And so that's some of the conversations we're having today.
Yeah. So Intuit has a lot of small businesses. My brother runs a bar. He's not on the internet all that much. He's not watching Twitter every 20 minutes like I am. So he
20
doesn't.
minutes? Only 20 minutes.
Well,
that long?
every interview I check it for a couple minutes. Yeah. But it's hard to reach those people, and so you're looking at Intuit to help reach those customers.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, as a business, we want to look at how we can help the right kind of folks and acquire customers in a profitable way, and channels are certainly the right way to do it. And going back to one of the shifts that I think is interesting about it is that when you do make things like display advertising available beyond just huge brands and sort of remnant credit at folks, you actually allow those small, medium-sized businesses to actually really care about the brand more. I mean, the one thing about search is that there's really no branding around it, and it's a very effective tool, but when you can actually allow them to get their brand out where someone does see the ad and maybe they don't actually buy it through online, but they see it in the aisle in the store, right? Or they recognize it as they're walking by. So there is some value to it there, and if you think about every small business actually having a brand that they really care about, there's huge opportunities beyond even what we do, beyond the scope of what we do. But I think it makes for a really interesting environment, even as it gets into all the different folks that have to service that.
Now, do you track, since you're dealing with so many small businesses, if I own a little pizza shop in Half Moon Bay, I don't care about reaching somebody who lives in China, right? Or somewhere else in the world. So I want to target advertising to go only to the people who are in my local community. So that, to me, that means Foursquare might be magic, or Yelp or something like that. Are you thinking about how location changes advertising, and has that started hitting your businesses yet?
Absolutely, and we pre-qualify a lot of the people that we're going to market to based on them having visited the advertiser's site. So if the pizza shop in Half Moon Bay has a contest where they say visit the site and sign up for free pizza. Even if they don't sign up for the email or whatever is necessary, we're going to be able to get that cookie and be able to market to that person and help maintain that relationship. So we kind of also look at cookie data as analogous to an email address and just kind of maintaining that relationship, but through display ads.
Very cool. Anything else you want to tell me about what you're seeing happen in advertising, or where you think you're going to take your company?
Yeah, no, I think we're just scratching the surface. The ability to layer on intent data onto display advertising has really only become possible in the last 8-12 months with the increasing openness of exchanges. So we think the internet's going to be a more personalized experience, just as it is on the content side. It will on the advertising side as well, and we think that works for everybody who's using the internet, publishers, advertisers, and the average browser.
Very cool. Where do we find you guys on the internet?
AdRoll.com, ADROLL.com.
And are you on Twitter?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
At AdRoll.
And what about you personally?
Yep, at Adam Berke.
Adam Berke?
I think you should go to Adam's first. He's a little more active on it than I am right now.
Okay.
Yeah, follow Adam.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for
Robert.
spending a few minutes.
Thanks.
Thanks.